Hello, this is Jamie from IToldYouIWasSick.com, and this is video number 7 in a series that I'm doing called Why Autistic People Do That. In video number 7, I am going to be talking about hobbies and special interests. Now, if you haven't seen the rest of the video series, I will link every one of them below so you can check them out. This series basically started because I asked on an autism forum, name something obvious to neurotypicals that when you discovered it, absolutely shocked you. Turns out there are a lot of things that absolutely shock autistic people that neurotypical people either already know or it's just sort of ingrained in the social structure and we're like, wait, what? So this one is about hobbies and special interests. I understand that, or I should say hobbies versus special interests and the difference between the two. I understand that just about everybody, regardless of neurology, has a hobby. They like to collect stamps or coins, or they like to play certain types of sports, or they like to write or read or do graphic design or ice skate. There's all sorts of different types of hobbies that anybody can have. But the difference, at least my understanding of the difference between a hobby and a special interest is the amount of focus and the priority that goes into a hobby versus a special interest. So from what I understand, a hobby is something that is done to pass the time. It's something done to relax. It's something that's done outside of the more important, I guess I want to say, work, family, socializing, friends. A hobby is something that's apart from that. And sometimes you can also do these hobbies with friends and family, and that can be part of your social structure. So I think it's more like a pastime, but some people get really, really into their hobbies too. I mean, I know my dad, for instance, collects cars, and he collects, it's not to the exclusion of all else, but he definitely collects a lot of cars. Although he might not be the best person to put on there for neurotypical, because I don't think he is, but shh. Anyway, a special interest, from my understanding, is something that consumes everything. Instead of being a hobby that's outside of your typical normal everyday life, it is your typical normal everyday life. And your special interest, especially if you're an autistic person, consumes your life. It is your life. It is what you do, it is what you feel, it is what you eat, it is what you sleep, it is what you breathe. It is everything that you are. And that doesn't mean that you don't walk away from it and that you don't have social interactions, or you don't go to work or school or anything like that. But this special interest is what fuels you. It's what makes you want to get up in the morning. It makes you feel comfortable and safe, and it just fuels you and feeds you like nothing else does. And for me, now I have multiple special interests. My big one is writing. To me, writing is not a hobby. I write like I have ink in my veins. I cannot exist without being a writer. I would not know who I was. It's everything in me. I mean, I know that I have, I'm a good person and I have other qualities and talents and attributes, but I cannot imagine not writing. It's like an artist not being able to create art. And speaking of which, I also create graphic designs and edits, and my special interest revolves around creating graphic designs and edits of gorgeous people I see on Instagram. Of course, I do ask their permission, and if they give it, then I will do an edit of them, so it's a lot of fun. But my special interests are to the exclusion of all else. My special interests come first, everything else comes second. And I'm not talking about just spending time with friends and family. I am talking about eating, sleeping, taking care of myself, remembering to drink water. And it doesn't usurp my life to the point where I will sit there and not eat or drink. It doesn't get so bad that I'll do that for a day. But I can't tell you how many times I've been involved with a project and I have chronic pain in my shoulder. My shoulder will be hurting. My eyes will be like, because I wear contact lenses, my eyes will be like so dry, and I'm thirsty and I'm hungry and I am aware of these things, but I don't care. I cannot stop. It is like a compulsion. It's not the same. I do have OCD. It's not the same as OCD, but it is like I have to finish what I started. I have learned after experiencing some severe mental health issues that I can put something down and come back to it. But before I was really self-aware, a special interest could completely consume me to the point where I didn't even realize time had gone by. I mean, I may get into a project, whether it's a writing project or a graphic project, and all of a sudden I look up and like 5 hours have gone by and I'm like, oh my God, I have to go to the bathroom, or, I have to do something. Another thing about special interests that I think makes them very different from hobbies is that people with special interests, it actually makes us very anxious and angry, and sometimes disorients us if we are interrupted from pursuing the special interest. So if we're like really, really deep in a project and the doorbell rings, or somebody knocks on the door, or the phone goes off, or God forbid it rings, we get irritated. It's not like, somebody else who can maybe put down whatever they're doing and say, oh, okay, let me focus on this because this is okay. We're not good at redirecting our focus because of executive dysfunction, which is something I should probably cover in another video. And also autistic inertia, which is another video. So basically, when we get started on a project, we don't want to stop, and we really can't stop without it feeling almost physically painful. I mean, I don't feel physical pain when I have to stop working on my special interest, but sometimes I can become very disoriented. And so I have to like suddenly stop and do this. And I don't know how to describe it to people who are neurotypical. It's kind of like, okay, this is a good example. Have you ever been very emotionally moved by a video that you've seen on like Facebook or Instagram or something like that, and you're just like so touched? And it's like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. And then you read the comments, and some of the comments are so negative, it just snaps you right out of that mood. Like so fast, it feels like somebody pulled you, like pulled a button, like a bungee cord, and you went back. And you're like, oh, like you don't know what to feel now. That's what it's like to have a special interest interrupted for an autistic person. Okay, this video is going on 8 minutes, and I don't want it to go too much longer than that. I try to keep them about 8 minutes or less. So that is my video for this week. I hopefully will see you next week, and we will talk about another topic, which since I don't have it right in front of me, I'm not sure what it is. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.